How offended would you feel if someone calls you a fool or an idiot? Why so? Because you think and believe that you're not a fool and cannot be one. However, it pleases you when others recognize your intelligence and call you brilliant, clever, wise, and knowledgeable, doesn't it? That's human nature. Almost all of us love to believe that we are intelligent and most others are fools, not up to our level. Now, there's nothing wrong in feeling inclined to consider yourself more intelligent than most others. That's primarily because you truly are intelligent, and you know it for sure that you have the ability to learn and understand things you set your mind to. For example, your brain or mind generates over 80,000 thoughts a day on an average. And that's true about every normal average human being out there, no matter what race, class, caste, and nationality you are. It holds true for every human being. Again, studies show that your brain has over 100 billion brain cells or neurons, and more than over 100,000 chemical reactions take place in your mind every second. Isn't that mind-boggling? Studies also show that of the 80,000 thoughts you generate every day, 60 to 70% remain negative. Now, I'm sure these facts about your brain may amaze you. And there are so many other more interesting facts too that we are discovering as research on human brain, mind, thoughts, thinking, emotions and feelings continue. What we know about the subject still remains minuscule. Brain is so complex that scientists are still not sure how most of it works. For example, we do not know how memories look like and how they are formed and stored. But we know our brain has more computing power than any technology our minds have invented so far. We know that our brain can generate about 23 watts of power, enough to power a light bulb. We also know that the brain goes through some amazing changes every time you learn something new. Now, no matter what geographical location you live in, what nationality or race you are, no matter what language you speak and what socio-economic segment you belong to, all of us live in one single place all the time. And what place is that? In our thoughts and feelings. That's where we all live in. Our thoughts and feelings. You live in your thoughts and feelings. I live in my thoughts and feelings all the time. And yet, how many of us understand what thoughts and feelings really are? How many of us know what they are made of? How are they formed? How do they govern us? All human inventions are products of human thoughts. The smartphone you're holding in your hand, the laptop or desktop or iPad or smart TV you're watching this video on, are products of thoughts. We create our world with our thoughts. Your beliefs and convictions are your thoughts. Your behavior and actions are your thoughts. The choices you make and decisions you take are your thoughts. We navigate life with our thoughts. You're never free of your thoughts and feelings. You are your thoughts. If so, thoughts management makes the key to your self-management and life management. one leads to the other. Do you know your thoughts can heal you? Quality of life you live is directly proportionate to the quality of your thoughts and your ability to think or process them. And that brings us to the quantity of thoughts we generate every single day on an average. Now, here's a quick arithmetic for you. There are over 7.9 billion humans on Earth, even as we speak. Over 3.12 billion of them come in the 20 to 59 age group of adults that are mentally and professionally active. At the rate of 80,000 thoughts per day per individual, just imagine the amount of thoughts 3.12 billion people that run the world produce. That's not all. Add to that the thoughts that 918 million people between 60 to 79 years of age produce as well. And then think of 33.2% of the total population of over 2.6 billion of children up to 20 years of age. We individually generate billions and collectively generate trillions of thoughts every year. Look around and we see human thoughts in physical form as products, infrastructure, socio-political and economic systems, processes, policies, laws, conditions, tools, institutions and organizations. They all exist around us, some in visible forms and some in invisible forms. We rely on our thoughts and feelings and we ride on them. It's a good thing that we have the ability to believe in our thoughts and feelings. Had it not been so, it wouldn't have been possible for us to even take a step or utter a word ever in life. Since we live in our thoughts and feelings, it's imperative that we understand how much of care and attention should go into the maintenance and their cultivation. Imagine the care we give to the maintenance of our costly assets, our house, car, and estate, for example. How much more care should go into the nurture and culture of our thoughts? How much more should we care to maintain the quality of our thinking process and to our ability to produce quality thoughts? Because thoughts and feelings are all we have that make us humans. Think for a moment. What becomes of you if you cannot think and feel? What becomes of you if you are stripped of your thoughts and feelings? How would you even know that you exist if you do not have thoughts and feelings? René Descartes rightly states, "Cogito ergo sum," which means, I think, therefore I am. Now, clearly you think and feel, else you wouldn't have even known that you exist. Since you know you exist and have the ability to experience yourself, it's clear that you exist and therefore you're real. But the question is, how good and sound are your thoughts? How good and sound is your thinking ability and processing system? Does it matter? Yes, it does. No matter how efficient your thinking process is, if your thoughts are anti-life and anti-human, they do you no good. They do no good to anyone. For example, if you think all the time to harm someone, mock someone, insult someone, vilify someone or hurt someone, the thoughts you produce do not make pro-life and pro-human thoughts. The quality of your thoughts then stays evil, poor, and unhealthy. So, what you choose to think is just as important as how you think, how fast you think, how long and hard you think. What the world today needs is good thinkers that produce good thoughts that take us all in the right direction. Those that produce thoughts that make our life on this planet safer and better for all people alike. Sadly, 99% of mankind do not live a safe and good life today, because more of evil thoughts appear to control decision makers that sit in places of power that manage economic, political, social, and spiritual affairs. And that affects us all. Think about it. Today we have more educated people living on this planet than ever. It's a cream of the most intelligent and educated among us that are hired for every public and private office, if not elected. CEOs, VPs, managers, and leaders from the leading B schools run corporate houses. Toppers in civil services exams are in the highest bureaucratic positions of power. Economy, banking, stock markets, you name it. We have the best of the best, most intelligent and the most educated running the affairs of the world in all nations around the world. And yet, in spite of all those mighty minds at the helm, and in spite of all their education, experience, and expertise, why is it that the world is steadily going down? In fact, all the surveys, studies, and reports show that the affairs of the whole world is getting worse by the day on every front. Not only is life getting worse for human race, but for all other species of animals and for the very planet itself. People making political decisions and policies and regulations are touted to be the most shrewd, brilliant, and mighty minds. And yet, economy and banking are considered to be in the hands of the most intelligent. And yet, the economic miseries of most people are only getting worse by the day. Evidently, either the education they have had has a problem, or there's a problem with the quality of their thinking. Or is it something else that causes the man-made threats to our existence and coexistence? If all these experts and thinkers produce are thoughts that take the whole human race down and endanger the planet and all the life on earth, it's high time we think a way out of all the mess they've created with poor and unhealthy thoughts. Systems and processes cry for a change. Every domain of human life cry for a meaningful change. And we need to think at the speed of thought to produce quality thoughts that would save us from a collective doom. If we don't, we will have no one else to blame but us. We today remain a vast ocean of collective failures, with islands of individual successes strewn few and far between. In spite of a fine mind and great intelligence that you have at your disposal, have you ever wondered why you couldn't think and produce thoughts, invent and discover and advance our collective fund of knowledge and understanding as Albert Einstein or Tesla or Isaac Newton could, as Socrates Plato and Aristotle could, as Mozart, Da Vinci, Shakespeare and Homer could, as any number of humans at different places and times that could produce extraordinary thoughts, ideas, products of thoughts or inventions and discoveries that could change the way we live and see life. Have you ever wondered why you couldn't do the same in spite of having a brain and mind with the same generic capacities those mighty minds had? Interestingly, we can cultivate our thinking ability, mental capacities and thoughts, and we need to. Many that realize it remain committed to developing their intellectual capacities and thoughts. But a large majority do not care to develop thinking and thoughts for some reason. Do you wonder why?